Leslie Marshall is with us. Leslie, come on in, please. You are a Democrat, a little bit left of centre. We often spar on this programme. We've been saying this morning that the vote in Britain is a plus for Donald Trump and a negative for Hillary Clinton. And you say?
Absolutely no. I disagree, and let me tell you why. I know that some people out there might think that we're part of the EU, but we're not. We're not looking to go away from the EU. And although people may want to say, well, let's look at the borders, very different geography for the United States and the UK, and quite frankly, a very different way that we run our governments, as you know better than I, Stuart, being formerly part of the UK. So no, I don't think it's that at all. And also, when you look, Stuart, at how close this vote was, this was almost a 50-50 split, and we're seeing that in the country with regard to not just immigration and the need for reformation, but how we should reform that system, and whether you like Hillary Clinton's ideas or whether you like Donald Trump's.
It wasn't that close. There was a 4-point spread, and that was not expected. That's almost the exact opposite of what most people had been suggesting. So do you think that Hillary comes out of this, the British vote, in a positive way? She got it wrong. They voted for Trump's ideas. They voted against President Obama. They voted against Hillary Clinton. How can she come out of this with a positive?
Well, first of all, a lot of the people that I spoke to, the small business owners, were angry, and rightly so, and that's why I'm not surprised at the outcome today. They didn't like people in Brussels telling them what to do and having so much regulation to make a scone, for example, and the amount of paperwork that they had to submit just to have business and to have business flow. One. Two, in addition to that, they also didn't like the fact that there were appointments made of individuals that were legislating on their behalf as opposed to them voting for elected officials in Parliament to make such decisions. We don't have that type of an issue here, Stuart. Separate from immigration, we're not beholden to Brussels, and nobody in Brussels is telling the United States what to do.
You know what the British also really objected to? It was being called bigoted if they object to very, very large numbers of people coming and flooding into the country. People who resented that a little bit were called bigots, and they did not like being called bigots. And you've got a very similar thing going on in America. Why is someone a bigot if they object to having 11 million illegals living in the United States whilst we pay for them? Why is that bigoted? That's what's coming to the fore here. That's why I would suggest that this is not a plus for Hillary Clinton. It's a negative.
I don't consider somebody who wants to uphold the law.
No, you don't, but you know what happens in America.
To be a bigot.
You are immediately an Islamophobe, you are a bigot, you are a racist. As soon as you start to object to the status quo on immigration, there's something wrong with you. That's the way the left shuts people up, and we object to it.
Well, Stuart, I don't agree with that. There's a difference between being against people coming into the country illegally versus banning an entire religion of people coming from every nation throughout the world, regardless of their background and if they have any criminal background or terrorist ties or ties to ISIS at all. Very different. And I do think saying that people of one religion or one color or one gender
Leslie,
or one ethnicity coming here is
I don't know whether
bigoted.
you can see it or not, Leslie, but we're rolling the video of Boris Johnson,
yes,
the leader of the Leave campaign, leaving his house this morning, being greeted by a very hostile crowd who were shouting racist scum at him. They branded him racist scum. Melissa?
Yeah, no, I mean, there are a lot of people out there who want to return to common sense. I think that's what a lot of this is about. Donald Trump may not say it so eloquently all the time, but there are people at home who are saying, wait a second, before we let people into this country, we should at least figure out who they are and why they're coming. It's not about banning an entire religion. It's about having some common sense. And when people hurl the epithet racist at you, you may keep your opinion to yourself, but your opinion internally does not change. So there are plenty of people at home saying, wait a second, the world is insane. we need to take a moment. Let's take a breath.
And by the way, they're not racist. And they're thinking that way. They're just
that
not.
too.
They're not.
Leslie, I've got to say goodbye to you, I know, but I want one last comment from you about Donald Trump. I watched very closely his when he met the press this morning in Turnberry in Scotland. I thought he handled the press extremely well, and he answered many questions. He was nailed down. He wasn't outrageous in any way. He wasn't using a prompter. He answered question after question after question. That press conference made him look good.
Yeah.
I don't probably think that you agree with me, do you, Leslie? And this is your last 20 seconds.
Oh, 20 seconds. Well, from where I sit, Stuart, not much makes Donald Trump look good, especially because, you know, he's championing in this vote today. In Scotland, overwhelmingly, the people want to stay in the EU, and some people say may break away from the UK in the future.
Right?
So I thought it was interesting where he was standing when he said that. But honestly, he actually does well with the press at press conferences, Stuart. I will give him that.
He does. Yes, he does. Leslie, thanks very much for joining us today. Big day. We got it. Thanks very much.
You.